Okay, so part 2 for this. What does, when you see a fraction, let's see here, get another sticky note. Let's see, I had just a simple fraction of 1/2, okay? You should all know this is the numerator, this is the denominator. This line right there, Mr. Montanez is not here. Mr. Malamed, what does this line mean? You know what that line means? In any fraction, if I had 7/8, what does that line mean? Do you know?
Represents like how many times it's in.
Not quite. Not quite. It simply means divided by. It means divided by. And so let's look at this backwards for a moment here. I'm going to write down 0.5. Okay? Mr. Malaban, I'm going to stay with you. How would you write this as a fraction?
5/10.
Yeah, thank you. So you've learned that this would be 5/10. Okay? But that's not reduced. What number, Miss Stockland, will go into 5 and go into 10 evenly?
5.
Yeah, 5 will. Okay, so 5 goes into 5 how many times? Once. 5 goes into 10? Twice. So 0.5 is the same thing as 1/2. Now watch this. Everybody pay attention to this. Even you, Mr. Clifton.
Okay.
1/2, okay, and I said this line means divided by. So let's do that. Let's set this up as a division problem. And I'm going to put, if this means 1 divided by 2, I'll put a 1 in here and a 2 out here. Okay? Where is the decimal inside here? It's right here. And when we do division, Miss Nealons, the decimal, goes straight up. So Miss Nealons, does 2 go into 1? No, it doesn't. So I'm going to put a 0 right there. I'll bring the decimal straight up. Now, Mr. Buckman, what do I have to do here? Have to add a what?
0.
Add a 0, okay? Now, 2 doesn't go into 1, but we know it goes into 10. 2 goes into 10 how many times? 5 times. And look at that. We just reversed it. We actually did the division. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. Okay, half of it. And 0.5, we turn that into a fraction, and it becomes 1/2. You guys see that? Let's do another one like that. I see some smoke coming out of some ears here. Let's see here. How about a 0.25? Okay. I want to turn that into a fraction. Okay. All the 6 got to go back here. I've already picked them all. So, Miss Hicks. Miss Hicks, turn this into a fraction for me. No, don't do any division yet. Just what the first thing I was teaching you about 5 minutes ago. How many digits are there?
25.
Yeah.
Over 100.
So she's now turned that into a fraction. That's 25 over 100. Okay, good. Now, let me ask you a question here. What number would go into 25 and 100 evenly? Think of 25 as a quarter. How many quarters are in $1?
4.
Yeah, 4. So the number would be 25. 25 goes into 25 how many times? 1. It goes in 1 time. 25 goes into 100 how many times? How many quarters are in $1? 4. Okay. So 0.25 is 1/4. You guys see that? Now, what if I had I wanted to turn 1/4 into a decimal. Well, Miss Hicks, I'm going to stick with you for the moment. What does this line mean? What did I say a couple minutes ago? Miss Dart, what's that?
The divide.
It means divided by, or a division, okay? So if I was to read it properly, I'd start with what's on top. This is 1 divided by 4. So how would I set that up? It'd be 1 divided by 4. 1 on the inside, 4 on the outside. So, Miss Hicks, does 4 go into 1?
Yeah.
It does?
No, it doesn't.
It does not, okay. So it's 0. The decimal is right here. I'm going to bring it straight up. Now, what do I have to do in here? Have to add a... Something doesn't fit. What am I going to add right here? Miss Dart, what am I going to add right here? No? Mr. Rosowski, help him out. What am I going to add right here?
0.
A 0. Okay? Now, does 4 go into 10, Mr. Rosowski?
Yes.
Goes in how many times?
Twice.
Twice. Okay? And 4 times 2 is?
8.
Okay. So we're going to subtract the 8. What am I left with? 8 from 10 is 2. Okay. Well, 4 doesn't go into 2, but we've got to bring down what? Another 0. Does 4 go into 20?
Yes.
How many times?
5.
5. So look at that. Nothing left over. So 1/4 is the same as 0.25. Okay? Ms. Gordon, you got this? All right. So let's look at this here for a moment. We've got 5 over 100. So it says write as a decimal or a fraction. So they want us, I guess they want us to turn this one into a decimal. So this means 5, what, divided by 100. Mr. Clifton, question or comment?
Oh, I was going to say what the answer was.
Okay, what is it?
0.5.
Yeah. And he said it's, what did you say it was again?
0.5.
0.
Oh, you're cheating.
Actually, it wouldn't be 0.5, but you're on the right track. It would be, because look,
0.05.
yeah, this is what Mr. Clifton said. He said 0.5. Well, that's the same as 1/2, okay? But let's check to see what this would be. This is 5 divided by, what, 100. What decimal do we get? 0.05 or 0.05. So 0.05 would be the answer. Okay?
That's what I got.
Okay. Now, let's look at number 10 here. This is 35, right? 35 divided by what? Divided by what? 100. That's going to be what? 0.35. All right? And this is going to be 6 divided by 10. This is number 8. 6 divided by 10 equals 0.6. Okay? So we'll do some more like these. Let's see here. Turn the page. Put your name on top, each one of these pages. Good habit to put yourselves in here. So let's read this here. It says, thousandths are smaller parts than hundreds. If 1/100th is divided into 10 equal parts, then each part is 1/1000th. It says use the model at the right to show tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. Okay? So over here, and I've got to hand out some rulers. Let me end this video, but I'll tell you what we're going to be doing here. It says divide the larger square into 10 equal columns. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to get a ruler, and I'm going to use Mr. Rosowski's stick here, and I'm going to line up the ruler here and here, and I'm going to draw a nice straight line, and I'm going to drop down, and I'm going to do it again, and I'll do it one more time, and I'll go all the way down to the bottom. And then when I'm done with that, then I'm going to do the same thing vertically, which is going up and down. I'm going to line it up and draw a line. And so this is what you guys will be doing. Don't do it yet because I haven't given you your rulers. Unless you've got one, I suppose you could start. Okay. And so you're going to divide this thing up into 10 equal parts. And let's see here. It says divide the larger square into 10 equal columns or rectangles, and then it says shade one rectangle. So in other words, you're going to shade one of these parts here. And then the question is, what part of the whole is the shaded rectangle? Well, that part would be, it says write that part as a decimal and a fraction. So it would be 1/10 or 0.01 or 0.1, okay? Or it says also write it as a fraction. Let me pull a stick, see if somebody would know. Miss Bowman, what would 0.1 be as a fraction?
1/10.
Yeah, nicely done, honey. Put up 10 points. 1/10. Okay? So you'll get a colored pen or pencil, and you're going to color in one of these lines here. I just happen to pick green in my example here. Okay? But you're going to draw the lines for everything, and you're going to color one of them, which would represent 1/10 of this large square here. And then you're going to divide it down into even smaller parts. You divide this into tenths. And so we'll go over that here, but I got to end this video before it gets too long.
Bye, viewers. Peace.